wider than it was before, and the earthquake is believed to have shortened the entire day of the whole Earth by a couple millionths of a second. It tilted the Earth's axis slightly. As we discussed on Friday's show, Japan is one of the most disaster-prepared countries in the world. This is a country that celebrates, nationally observes Disaster Prevention Day every year. They have elaborate earthquake and tsunami early warning systems, comprehensive public and private evacuation plans, and super strict building codes. But it was not enough. Friday's earthquake and the tsunami that followed it were devastating to Japan. Thousands of homes were destroyed in the earthquake, washed away by the tsunami. Hundreds of roads are damaged. There have been explosions now at 3 different reactors at a nuclear power plant in northern Japan. As the New York Times reported this weekend, at least 40% of Japan's 22,000-mile coastline is lined with concrete seawalls or other structures meant to protect against high waves, typhoons, and tsunamis. But they weren't enough. The tsunami washed right over the seawalls meant to protect a pair of nuclear power plants near the coast, including the one where subsequently those explosions have happened. A leading expert on designing nuclear power plants to withstand earthquakes told the New York Times that the seawalls of the Japanese plants probably could not handle tsunami waves of the height that struck them, and the plant's diesel generators were situated on low ground on the assumption that those seawalls were high enough to protect against any likely tsunami. As we plan for the worst-case scenario, are we underestimating what the worst-case scenario is? It's important that we know how likely a really big earthquake is, not just for insurance or actuarial purposes, but so we can plan our own infrastructure, so we can work on our own disaster preparedness. As we work on disaster preparedness, we need to know what kinds of disasters we should be prepared for. Here at home, one of California's nuclear power plants, the one at Diablo Canyon, is in the middle of a fight with some local residents. The plant wants to extend its operating license, but local opponents who note the recent discovery of a fault line about a mile offshore from the plant, they would like to see some new seismic studies first. The plant is designed to withstand up to a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. Again, after the upgrade, the one in Japan this weekend is now considered to have been a 9.0. Joining us now is Congressman Rush Holt, Democrat of New Jersey, and a physicist who has worked on nuclear issues. Congressman Holt, thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Good to be with you, Rachel, and thanks for the reports from Bob and Lee. This is a good program. Thanks.
Thank you very much. It's nice of you to say that. Let me get your reaction, particularly to what Bob was talking about, which is the news that this third explosion at this reactor in Japan may be more serious than the previous two, that there may have been a significant new release of radioactivity. An American public listening to you tonight, thinking of you as both a congressman and a physicist,